What's up guys, it's Mystic coming to you guys with yet another YouTube video. Now today we're going to talk about Season 2, Episode 22, titled Invincible. Now let's get right into it. At the start of the episode we see the police fighting off some metahumans. And we see Barry with his full powers back, capturing all of them, gathering them up, and trying to stop them from overrunning the city. We also see Caitlin come back. It seems that she chose the team over Zoom, and she's in shock for most of the episode. I don't know why she's in shock, just because Zoom treated her pretty well. Hunter took care of her better, so I wanted to see a little bit more about that, why she's so traumatized. But again, you know, it was one of the reoccurring things in the episode. The other thing is Barry's overconfidence. As the episode goes on, we see Cisco, Henry, and Iris taking turns talking to him, make sure he has his head on his shoulders, and takes precaution while he fights, and has a little bit of fear while he fights as well, because he feels that the Speed Force and his experience with the Speed Force changed him, and that the universe is in their favor. So he feels like nothing can touch him, nothing can hurt him, and nothing bad can happen to him. So that's one of the things that happens recurrently in the episode as well. Again, I'm a little confused about that, just because the Speed Force clearly told him to, you know, accept the things he can't change and have the wisdom to know what he can change and do the best he can. I think that's what the Speed Force was trying to teach him. But again, hopefully that's addressed in the next episode as well. Now, Cisco vibes some dead birds while he's at Star Labs, and he doesn't know what's going on throughout the episode. He is a bit confused as to why he's vibing these things, and that gets addressed at the end of the episode. Also, Mercury Labs is taken down by none other than Sarah Lance. Yes, that's right. Black Siren is in this episode, and I think that's a really cool Easter egg. I don't know if they're going to continue with her story arc, but I think she seemed pretty happy. She seemed like she enjoyed playing Black Siren a lot more than maybe Black Canary. Or maybe she just felt really happy to be back and playing one of these DC characters in these shows. So we'll see what they do with that. And Barry saves Dr. McGee from that building, because she takes down, Sarah takes down Mercury Labs, so Dr. McGee is saved by Barry. We see the police hunting down some metas around the city, but Wally tries to help them. And I think that's one of the other big moments in the show, is that Wally tries to guilt himself and tries to do the right thing, because he feels like he wasn't worth being saved by Barry. That this whole apocalypse, meta-apocalypse, is his fault. And he just has a lot of guilt from before, from the way he acted with his mother, and just the way he acted with his family, and so he feels responsible for a lot of that, and you can see his motivation into becoming a hero. So I think they did that very well. I'm very impressed and very happy with how they handled that. As the episode goes on, we see a confrontation between Barry and Zoom. Practically, Zoom calls him out to his lab, Barry's lab, and they talk about, and I think this is a little bit of reference towards the Dark Knight movie a little bit, that they're very similar, and that even though they have different goals right now, they have different agendas, one's a hero, one's a villain, that their background, the deaths of their mothers, could have set them on either path. And Zoom is convinced that Barry is destined, or should have, or could have gone the same path as him. And he reveals to Barry that all the metas are just a distraction so that Zoom can go through with his bigger plan. We don't know what his bigger plan is until a bit later on in the episode, and even then it's not 100% clear. That's basically why Sarah Lance is going around the city and destroying all these buildings to keep Barry at bay, distracted. So again, that was a good thing. So as we see some of these buildings crumbling, Barry does confront Black Siren. You know, she confesses to him that maybe Zoom is a little bit afraid of him. Maybe she's sending a lot of these metas to try to stop him. And I think she hurts him pretty well. She knocks him down, and Wally ends up saving him. And we see Wally again trying to be the hero that he can. And even though Barry tries to talk to him again, tells him, you don't have powers, you have to be careful, you're not equipped to fight these metas. And I don't know if he's going to listen. Again, there's another big moment at the end that happens to Wally that I think might affect them in the next episode. The team comes up with a plan to get rid of all the metas in the city, and that involves using sound frequency. And basically what they're going to do is bounce a higher frequency around the city using Barry's speed as kind of a barrier around the city, then using a sound amplifier to emit that specific frequency that Earth 2 people or humans or anyone from Earth 2 lives with, and that should pretty much disrupt their nervous system and leave them unconscious. So that's what they're going to do. But right before they go through with the plan, Black Siren comes up again, and their meta alert app comes up that she is going to knock down more buildings. So they have to come up with a decision to either stop her or stop the metas in general. But Cisco and Caitlin go after Black Siren dressed as Killer Frost and Reverb. And it was kind of a funny moment, though that whole scene was pretty funny. The only thing that came out of it is that Cisco actually learned how to use more of his powers. That Reverb move or Reverb ability that his doppelganger had, he was able to duplicate, so that was kind of cool. He learned something new, and obviously Black Siren was able to see through their charade. But as all this is happening, Barry is able to finish off the plan and leave all the metas unconscious, all the Earth 2 metas, so that was a good thing. As all this is happening, Zoom actually opens up a portal, and I hope they address this too, because he's able to open it at will. We gotta see what's going on, because he wasn't able to do that before. He was waiting for Cisco to open up a portal early on in the season in order for him to get back to Earth 1, so we gotta see what is going on there. So all the metas are captured, and Sarah lands. The Black Siren is captured as well. We'll see what happens with her next. I don't think it's going to be this season, probably till next season of The Flash or Arrow. We'll see what happens. Then the episode leaves off at a party that they're having, a dinner party. Everyone is invited. We can see the whole cast, and we can see how much the cast has grown. How many people we have involved in this whole endeavor. And I think one of the big moments is Barry asks Iris out. I think that was great. He vibes Earth 2 splitting, being crushed. We don't know what's going on. I don't know if Zoom's plan is just to destroy Earth 2, maybe converge and merge Earth 1 and Earth 2. So we'll see what happens. After he vibes, Zoom appears and takes Barry's dad away, back to his old home, back to where he grew up. And obviously Barry follows him. He teaches Barry a final lesson, or tries to teach him his version of a lesson, that he has to see one of his parents die in order for Barry to become just like him. He is convinced that Barry should become just like him. He kills his dad. And I think it's one of the sad moments of the episode. Towards the end, it started getting really good, and I think they did really well with that. I'm sure Barry's probably destroyed, so we'll see if he chases him down, probably stays with his dad, his final moments, and we'll see what happens with that. Maybe it's related to the Man in the Iron Mask, that's what a lot of the theories out there are saying, but I'll make a separate video on my predictions about that. Now, Wally finds out that Barry is the Flash, and I think that's another thing that's worth mentioning, because he's trying to be a hero, and he finally finds out Barry is the Flash. So again, we'll see how that affects his viewpoint, his way of seeing everything that's happening. Again, guys, those are kind of my quick opinions and kind of quick thoughts about the episode. I think those were kind of the big moments, I think, that happened. I hope you guys liked the episode as much as I did. There were a few kind of side plots that were not addressed, and I think they could have done a little bit better, but we'll see. Hopefully it's done next episode. Again, guys, I'm happy you guys are enjoying the content. Hit like down below, leave a comment, and always sub. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video.